Welcome to your personal deep dive. Today we're going to be exploring the Airbus A380.
The A380.
You sent over some really fascinating material about the largest passenger plane ever built. And
That's a fascinating aircraft.
I have to admit, I'm already a little awestruck.
Yeah. It's easy to be impressed by the sheer scale of it.
Yeah.
But I think what's even more fascinating is the story behind its creation.
Okay.
It really showcases the power of international collaboration.
Let's unpack that.
Okay.
What makes the A380 such a global endeavor?
Well, for starters, its 6.5 million components are sourced from 1,500 companies across 30 countries.
It's mind-boggling.
Can you imagine the level of coordination involved?
We're talking about a worldwide network of suppliers all working together to create this massive aircraft.
Exactly. And each country brings unique expertise to the table.
Okay.
For example, Germany, France, Spain, and Great Britain play key roles in the A380's construction, each specializing in different aspects of the plane.
So it's not just about assembling parts. It's about weaving together the knowledge and skills of engineers from all over the world.
Precisely. It's a testament to the interconnectedness of the aviation industry.
Yeah.
And speaking of connections, the location of Hamburg for fuselage production is quite strategic.
Strategically located on a river.
Yes.
I'm assuming that has something to do with transporting those massive fuselage sections.
You're catching on. Those sections are far too large for standard land transport.
Okay.
Hamburg's proximity to both an airport and the Elbe River makes it ideal for receiving components and then moving the assembled fuselage sections for final assembly.
Ah, so it's a logistical hub.
Exactly.
Perfectly positioned to handle the unique challenges of building an aircraft of this scale.
And speaking of challenges, let's talk about the engineering marvels that make the A380 possible.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to weight.
It seems counterintuitive that something so massive could even get off the ground.
Right.
How did the engineers tackle the weight issue?
Well, the double-decker design itself was a clever solution. It allows for increased passenger capacity without creating the hump you see in other large aircraft.
Interesting.
Which adds weight and drag.
That's fascinating. It's like a two-story building that can fly.
It is.
But I imagine there were other weight-saving strategies involved as well.
Absolutely. They incorporated lightweight materials like aluminum alloys and composites extensively.
Okay.
Did you know, for example, that the cargo hold door is made from fiberglass?
Fiberglass.
Yes.
That's pretty unusual for an airplane, isn't it?
It is. But it's significantly lighter than traditional materials.
Okay.
And every ounce matters when you're building an aircraft of this magnitude.
Yeah, I'm starting to see a pattern here. It seems like every aspect of the A380's design is about pushing the boundaries of what's possible while keeping weight in check.
That's a great observation.
Yeah.
And this ingenuity is especially evident when you look at the A380's intricate nervous system.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued.
All right. What exactly do you mean by nervous system?
I'm talking about the network of cables and connections that run throughout the entire plane.
Okay.
It's a staggering 530 kilometers of cables.
Wow.
With tens of thousands of connections. That's longer than many major highways.
530 kilometers, that's an unimaginable amount of wiring.
It is.
How do they even keep track of it all?
It's an incredibly complex system.
Yeah.
But the engineers were meticulous in their planning and implementation.
Okay.
They even incorporated redundant systems, meaning there are backups for critical functions in case of any electrical issues.
So even if one system fails, there's a backup ready to take over.
That's right.
That's reassuring.
Yes.
But I can't even imagine how they access and maintain such a complex system. It must be like working in a giant tangled web.
It certainly requires specialized tools and expertise.
Yeah.
The use of dentist mirrors to reach those hard-to-access connections is a testament to the level of detail and ingenuity.
Dentist mirrors?
Yes.
Wow.
That went into every aspect of the A380's design. That's brilliant. It really underscores the unique challenges of working on an aircraft of this scale.
Exactly. And that brings us to another fascinating aspect of the A380's story.
Okay.
The logistics of transporting these massive components.
Ah, yes. Getting those giant pieces from point A to point B must be quite the undertaking.
It is.
Tell me more about that.
Well, we already talked about how the fuselage sections are transported via specialized ships along rivers and across the Atlantic.
Right.
But land transport is just as impressive.
Land transport. But those sections are enormous.
Yeah.
How do they even move them on land?
It involves meticulously coordinated convoys of trucks, police escorts, and support vehicles.
Wow.
All carefully navigating narrow French roads.
Oh, my goodness.
And all of this happens at night.
Hold on, at night. Why would they choose to move these massive components in the dark?
It's all about minimizing disruption.
Okay.
These convoys are so large and slow-moving that they would cause major traffic jams during the day, so they opt to move them during off-peak hours.
Makes sense.
To reduce the impact on everyday life.
That makes a lot of sense. It's a fascinating glimpse into the logistical complexities.
It is.
Involved in bringing the A380 to life.
Yes.
Every step of the process seems to require a high level of planning and coordination.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And all of this meticulous preparation culminates in the final assembly.
Okay.
Which takes place in Toulouse, France.
Toulouse? Why Toulouse?
It's home to a giant hangar large enough to accommodate the construction of multiple A380s simultaneously.
Wow.
Imagine the scale of that space.
It must be absolutely massive. But what about the tail section?
Yes.
It's got to be enormous, too.
It is.
How do they get that to Toulouse?
That's where the beluga comes in.
The beluga. What's that?
It's a special cargo plane designed by Airbus specifically for transporting large aircraft components.
Oh, wow.
Like the A380's tail section.
Okay.
It has a distinctive bulbous shape, which is how it got its name.
So they built a special plane just to transport parts of another plane. That's incredible. They really thought of everything.
They did, and the beluga plays a crucial role in the A380's assembly.
Okay.
Once the tail section arrives in Toulouse, thousands of rivets and bolts are used to join the different sections of the fuselage.
I bet that joining process requires extreme accuracy and precision.
It does.
Stakes must be incredibly high.
They absolutely are. Any error could have serious consequences.
Right.
So the teams work with meticulous attention to detail.
Yeah.
It's a testament to the craftsmanship of the people involved in building this aircraft.
I'm in awe of the skill and expertise it takes to assemble such a complex machine. It's like building a giant flying puzzle piece by piece.
That's a great analogy.
And once all the pieces are in place, the next step is rigorous testing.
Of course.
What kind of tests do they put the A380 through?
Well, they have a dedicated test A380 filled with monitoring equipment.
Oh, well.
This flying laboratory allows them to try out new systems and designs before implementing them in the production models.
So they're constantly innovating and refining the A380's design. That's impressive.
It is, and one of the most extensively tested components is the landing gear, which is made from incredibly durable Russian titanium.
Russian titanium. It's fascinating how materials from all over the world come together to create this marvel of engineering.
It is.
We've gone from the initial design and sourcing of components all the way to the final assembly and testing.
We have.
It's been quite a journey so far.
It has, but we've only just scratched the surface of what makes the A380 such a remarkable feat of engineering.
Okay.
There's still so much more to explore, especially when it comes to the passenger experience.
Okay, I'm definitely ready to dive into that. Let's explore what it's like to actually fly on this incredible aircraft.
Sounds good. Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of the A380.
We've covered a lot of ground from its global production to the logistical challenges of transporting those massive components.
It is mind-boggling.
Yeah, it really is. But now I'm curious to shift our focus to the passenger experience. Okay. What's it like to actually fly on this giant of the skies?
Well, the A380 offers a range of experiences depending on the class you fly. But one thing is consistent. It's designed with passenger comfort in mind.
Okay, let's start with the most luxurious option.
Right.
You mentioned earlier that the A380 boasts first-class suites.
Yes.
Paint me a picture. What's it like flying in one of those?
Imagine this. You step aboard and enter your own private oasis.
Okay.
Complete with a spacious suite featuring a lie-flat bed, a personal entertainment system.
Wow.
Stocked with a vast library of movies and shows and gourmet dining options prepared by world-class chefs.
Wow, that sounds more like a five-star hotel room than an airplane cabin.
It does.
Must be a truly pampered experience.
It is. The service is top-notch.
Yeah.
With dedicated flight attendants catering to your every need, ensuring a seamless and luxurious experience from takeoff to landing.
That's the dream. But what about those of us who aren't flying first class?
Right.
What's the experience like for passengers in economy?
Well, while it might not have all the bells and whistles of first class, the A380's economy cabin is still designed with comfort as a priority.
So are we talking spacious seats and ample legroom, or is it the usual cramped quarters?
Compared to many other aircraft, the A380 boasts a more spacious economy class layout.
Okay.
The seats are ergonomically designed to provide better support, and there's more legroom and personal space to stretch out and relax. Plus, remember those quieter cabins we talked about earlier?
Right.
That makes a huge difference on long flights.
Absolutely. A peaceful cabin can make or break a travel experience, especially on those long-haul journeys.
Yeah.
It sounds like they really went the extra mile to ensure passenger comfort across all classes.
They did, and that commitment to passenger experience extends beyond the physical space.
Okay.
The A380 also offers a range of amenities and features designed to enhance the journey.
What kind of amenities are we talking about?
Well, depending on the airline and configuration, you might find features like onboard Wi-Fi, allowing you to stay connected throughout your flight, or individual power outlets.
Right.
So you can keep your devices charged.
Uh-huh.
Some airlines even offer in-flight shopping and duty-free options for a little retail therapy at 30,000 feet.
That's impressive. It seems like they've thought of everything to make the journey as enjoyable as possible.
Yeah.
It's clear that the A380's arrival had a significant impact on the aviation industry.
It did. Its sheer size and capacity presented a unique set of challenges for airports around the world.
What kind of challenges did airports face in accommodating this super jumbo jet?
Think about it. Everything needed to be bigger and stronger.
Okay.
Airports had to invest in larger gates,
Right.
capable of accommodating the A380's massive wingspan,
Uh-huh.
and they needed to reinforce their runways to handle the weight of this behemoth.
I imagine baggage handling must have been a whole other logistical hurdle.
You're right. The influx of passengers arriving and departing on A380 flights meant that baggage handling systems needed to be upgraded to manage the increased volume. It was a considerable undertaking for airports worldwide, but it also spurred innovation and improvements in airport infrastructure.
So the A380 didn't just revolutionize air travel, it also pushed the entire aviation ecosystem to evolve and adapt.
Exactly. Its influence went far beyond the aircraft itself. It forced airports to think bigger and bolder, paving the way for future advancements in the industry.
Speaking of the future, let's address the elephant in the room. We know the production of the A380 has ended.
Right.
What led to this decision, especially given its innovative design and focus on passenger comfort?
It's a complex issue with several contributing factors. While the A380 was a marvel of engineering, the aviation industry was undergoing a shift in focus.
Okay.
Airlines began prioritizing smaller, more fuel-efficient aircraft that offered greater flexibility in terms of routes and passenger demand.
So the A380's massive size, which was once its greatest strength, became a bit of a liability in a changing market.
In a way, yes. The demand for its huge passenger capacity on specific routes didn't materialize as expected.
Okay.
Airlines found it more cost-effective to operate smaller aircraft that could service a wider range of destinations.
That makes sense. It's a reminder that even the most impressive technological advancements are subject to market forces and evolving industry trends. But despite its production ending, the A380 still holds a special place in aviation history, right?
Absolutely. It's a symbol of human ingenuity and a testament to what's possible when we push the boundaries of engineering and international collaboration. Even though it's no longer being built, it continues to grace the skies, connecting people and cultures around the world.
It's a beautiful thought, seeing it as a symbol of human ambition taking flight.
Indeed. And speaking of ambition, there's one more intriguing aspect of the A380 we haven't touched on yet.
Okay.
The all-economy class configuration.
Oh, yes. The documentary mentioned that it could potentially hold over 850 passengers in an all-economy layout.
Right.
It's fascinating that no airline ever ordered it. Why do you think that is?
It seems counterintuitive, doesn't it?
It does.
You'd think airlines would jump at the chance to maximize passenger capacity and potentially increase revenue.
I would imagine the logistical possibilities of flying that many people on a single flight.
But the lack of orders for this configuration suggests a shift in the airline industry's priorities.
Okay.
It seems that passenger comfort and experience have become increasingly important factors in their decision-making.
So even though an all-economy A380 could potentially generate more revenue, airlines were hesitant to sacrifice passenger comfort.
Exactly. They realized that cramming as many passengers as possible into a plane,
Yeah.
even a spacious one like the A380, might not be the best long-term strategy. It could negatively impact customer satisfaction and brand reputation.
That's a fascinating insight into the evolving priorities of the airline industry. It seems they're recognizing the value of a positive passenger experience, even if it means slightly lower capacity.
Precisely, and it raises important questions about the future of air travel. How will airlines balance passenger comfort with economic considerations as technology continues to advance?
That's a great question to ponder. I think it's time we shift our focus to the A380's legacy and what it means for the future of aviation. Welcome back to our deep dive into the Airbus A380. We've explored everything from its global production to its luxurious passenger experience and even the challenges it faced in a changing market.
It's been quite a journey. We've unpacked a lot of information, and it's clear that the A380 is much more than just an airplane. It's a symbol of human ingenuity, ambition, and the power of collaboration.
Absolutely. But before we get too sentimental, there's one more practical aspect we need to address: fuel efficiency. In a world increasingly focused on sustainability, how does the A380 measure up?
That's a great question, and it might surprise you to learn that the A380 is actually quite fuel efficient, especially when you consider its size.
Really? That seems counterintuitive. How can such a massive aircraft be efficient in terms of fuel consumption?
It all comes down to its clever design and advanced engine technology. The A380's aerodynamic shape minimizes drag, allowing it to glide through the air with less resistance, and its powerful engines are specifically designed to optimize fuel burn, especially on long-haul flights.
So it's not just about size, it's about the engineering ingenuity that went into making this giant of the skies as efficient as possible.
Exactly. The A380 demonstrates that large aircraft can be fuel efficient if they're designed with the right technology and principles in mind. But of course, fuel efficiency is just one aspect of sustainability in aviation.
Right. What about the environmental impact of manufacturing such a large aircraft in the first place? That must require a significant amount of resources and energy.
You're right. The production of any aircraft, especially one as large as the A380, has an environmental footprint. But the aviation industry is increasingly aware of these concerns and is actively taking steps to address them.
What kind of steps are being taken to make aircraft manufacturing more sustainable?
There's a growing focus on using recycled materials whenever possible, reducing waste throughout the production process, and optimizing manufacturing techniques to minimize energy consumption. It's about finding a balance between technological advancement and environmental responsibility.
It sounds like the industry is moving in the right direction. It's encouraging to hear that sustainability is becoming a higher priority. But even though production of the A380 has ended, it continues to fly passengers all over the world. What do you think its lasting legacy will be?
I believe the A380's impact extends far beyond its role as a passenger aircraft. It pushed the boundaries of what was possible in aviation, inspiring engineers and designers to think bigger and bolder. It also showcased the power of global collaboration, bringing together experts from around the world to create something truly remarkable.
It's a symbol of human innovation and a testament to what we can achieve when we work together towards a common goal.
Precisely. And even though its era of production has come to an end, the A380 will continue to soar through the skies for many years to come, reminding us of the boundless possibilities of human ingenuity.
What a beautiful way to sum it up. It seems like the perfect note on which to end our deep dive into the world of the A380. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery. We hope you've gained a newfound appreciation for the Airbus A380, a true marvel of modern aviation.
It's been a pleasure.